or equity kinds of investments.
Yeah. I love the points that you just gave. If you have an opportunity, I'm quite sure the audience wants a recap of the 1-2 points you talk about: competency, entrepreneurial mindset, and actually getting to the core. So thank you for your opening comments. Chelsea, over to you. Could you introduce yourself and tell us what your organization is doing, particularly for the underserved communities, but also if you can touch upon, we talked about it earlier, the importance of role models.
Absolutely. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with you today and to learn from you. We really appreciate everyone's service to this ecosystem. My name is Chelsea Soneira. I am the Chief Academic Officer for Junior Achievement in the Greater Washington region. I also sit on several of our national working groups that look at high school reimagination across the country and around the world. I've been with the organization for about 20 years, and we've seen a lot of really interesting transitions between the 3 pillars of focus that we have, which is the financial literacy, work and career readiness space, and entrepreneurship, and how those things are innately tied together. With regard specifically to underserved communities, we've seen a couple of interesting trends. We of course have benefited tremendously from the work of everyone on this on the screen here today, who have set the process for working with communities at the hyper-local level. And I can say that every junior achievement office around the country and around the world builds relationships locally to work with whatever underserved represents in that community. One of the things we've noticed locally is that in communities that are in desperate need of jobs or economic opportunity, the ability to identify of students to identify themselves as potential entrepreneurs is often lower than we expect it to be. So while we do see a lot of students step up and say, yes, I want to own my own business, I see that as my path to economic opportunity. And we tend to say, take those couple of examples and say that that is symbolic of the entire group. We find that that's not actually the case. So as we've worked on what the future of high school looks like, what we found is that, per the comments of other folks on this panel, we really do have to infuse what being an entrepreneur or what solving problems looks like throughout the course of education, and provide lots of different examples of what that could look like in an individual's life before they see themselves as problem solvers and therefore potential entrepreneurs. And so the value of the role model in that case is that a role model of a problem solver can look like a lot of different things. For junior achievement, of course, a role model is implicit in our model of service. That is kind of the secret sauce that JA has historically formed itself on, although I see that transforming a little bit in the future. But bringing students face to face with problems, having them dissect and identify how those problems came to be, identifying them with kind of concurrent or similar things in their community, and figuring out how they can feel empowered to solve those has been key to us in getting them to see themselves as kind of a member who belongs in the problem-solving space. And so again, when we look at whether it's an underserved community or community in need of support in any way, getting those young people to feel empowered and feel that they have the knowledge and the connections to participate in a solution has really been the key. I would say to that end, several of the panelists have mentioned how entrepreneurship is crossing so many different disciplines. And we've also found that to be absolutely critical. We found a lot of roadblocks, to be perfectly honest, in doing that.